Hello guys, good afternoon and welcome to my video. My name is Jeff Baker _ adventures. Nice to see you and we really appreciate you. Yesterday I brought you something about what happened to me when I was younger. But today and I gave you a little bit of Jamaican, and we're gonna carry on in that vein. So we start off by saying where I go, and where I go means where are you going, or where I do, that means what are you doing. Okay, simple, very very simple. So I think what the story that I told you yesterday was not a story. It actually happened to me about the teacher and the results of my test. And I think the reason why she done that, or they done that, is because, you know, when you how can I put it now? If you're not following the rules, right? If you're if you're not following the rules, they don't appreciate that. And then if you're bright, but you're a troublemaker or you're mischievous, they don't like that. So I guess they look at it that you could be a problem in the future. So if they could, what can I say, penalize you in a way that it will affect you later on in life, that will be beneficial to them, because that's one problem they won't have to worry about. And I think this is the reason why, because why else would you penalize a 7.5-year-old by telling them to fail the exam when they didn't fail? So that's the only conclusion I can come with. Do you have a conclusion on it? If you do, drop a line in the comment section and let me know your theory and what you think that the reason that it was done. I mean, I'm not making a big thing out of it because this is many years ago, right? And I guess they have a different system now for holding people back. But it also happened to me in the Royal Navy, because of my family. My parents wanted me to stay in the school till I was like 17, right? And I know my friends were already leaving at 16. So I didn't want to stay at the school, and because I didn't trust the system, you know. And so then what I done, I went to the Royal Navy. I was a little bit devious. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was a little bit devious. And I thought, how can I get out of this school? So what I done is I went to the Royal Navy careers office and told them I wanted to join the Royal Navy, and they gave me an exam, because I know that it's the government, and my parents, they couldn't do anything about it. If I was accepted in there, then they couldn't stop me. And then I passed the exam, and they said, yeah, you can join the Royal Navy. And then so that's one that's one plus, that they allowed me to pass the Royal Navy. But it wasn't the best position that they were giving me. It was like a sailor, because they had like you had like artificer, which was you come in as an officer, or you come in as an electrician, or you come in as an ordinary seaman, which so they gave me the ordinary seaman, right? But when it came to passing out, I'm gonna be truthful. I can't swim, and I couldn't swim, and I just don't like that my feet can't touch the ground when I'm in water. So we also had a swimming test, which I didn't pass, obviously, because I can't swim and I actually nearly drowned. They had to put a pole in to save me. So then, that's, so they said that, so when it was passing out time, when I was in the passing out parade and everything like this, but they said I didn't pass my test again. So then, but he said I didn't pass my test. I could understand it if it's coming from a swimming perspective, because of course I couldn't swim. I still can't swim today. I can swim, but I can't float. So, and then the thing is, what happened is, they said I didn't pass my test. So, and then that was after 3 months. But that was the 3 months recruitment test. And then, so I told him I don't want to stay in I don't want to stay in the Royal Navy. And the colonel called me to the office and told me I'm making a mistake, that the Royal Navy is the right career for me. And I asked him, how can it be the right career for me if I didn't pass my test and I can't swim? because and I told him, and I said, but apart from that, my family has problem at home, and I'm the oldest one, which wasn't actually true. So anyway, they allowed me to leave on a honorable discharge, right? So yeah, so I came out of there, and then but the point what I'm making is like every time I'm taking a test, apart from the one to get into the Royal Navy, it's like I'm flunking. So then, come out of the Royal Navy, went back home to my parents, and they was livid, absolutely livid. They were angry, man, like hell, because I told them that my family, they said that you told them that your family has problem at home, because I didn't want to stay in there because, So then anyway, yes, guys, so I'm telling you this because, so you know a little bit about me, and I guess we have to start from the beginning. We cannot start at the end. We have to start at the beginning, right? So these are the things that happened to me. These are the things that happened to me. The reality of my life. So I was out of the Royal Navy. And then I got a job as a trainee estimator in a big company called Schrader, an American company. It was a good job. It's office like estimating to do with figures, because I was pretty good at maths, apparently. But what can I say? Now I'm in Oslo. I ended up in Oslo, which is another long story, a little bit freaky. I had a lot of freaky encounters, and I had also out of body experience. You know what that is? But most of the out of body experiences that I've read about, like Dolores, I can't remember her name. Dolores. Yeah, she the experiences that she documented about with her clients, because and he said that they were above their body, but I was above my body, but I actually couldn't see my body, but they could see their body. I know my body was there, but I was above my body, and it was very freaky because It's like I had all my senses, right? But I just didn't have a body. And then it was a really good experience because you felt a lot of love, a lot of transparency, and you could see or go anywhere in the spirit. And I can't remember how long it lasted, but I would say like an hour, 30 minutes to an hour. And then, so my outer body experience is a little bit different from the ones I'm reading about because they were always like in an operation, something like in an operation room, and then they came out of their body and they could look down on their body. They could see everything what's going on. They could hear everything that's going on. But I wasn't sick or nothing like this. Somehow I just came out of my body. I don't know how it came about. And then I had all my senses. That's what I remember. And it was a very nice experience. Like, this is when you die, this is where you're going to be, sort of thing. And it was, yeah. So you didn't fear death. And if anything, you look forward to it, So that was that experience. But I've had many experiences. Another friend of mine took me to a clairvoyant. I never forget her name. Her name was Ethel Lakins. And she was these people that can see things, And my friend, he's a special guy. And he took me, because we were friends from school. But this was when I was in my 20s. And he was doing very well for himself. And I was one of his best friends. So he introduced me by doing me a favor, took me to this woman, introduced me to her. And I had on a white silk suit. And she told me, go on the continent, she told me to leave the woman that I was with. I was with her for about a year or so. He said, leave her and go on the continent just as you are. That's what she said to me. But, and she told me a lot of other things. So I won't tell you everything, but she told me that I should, because I used to gamble a little bit, and she told me I should go into the bookmakers the next day, because this was in the Midlands, but I was living in Leicester at the time, Leicester. So you should go into the bookmakers and then back a horse. There's a horse there you should put all your money on. I won't tell you what it is, but when you go into the bookmakers, you will know. So I was excited, man, because my friend, I know him as a serious guy, and he introduced me to this woman. So obviously, something's into something. So then I went back to Leicester, and the next day I took my money, and I won't say how much money it was. And I took my money and I went into the bookmakers, and the first thing I saw was a horse, because my name is Jeff, right? And there was a horse running called Jeffrey's Choice. Jeffrey's Choice. And the odds was like 100 to 1. That means if you put on, like, for those of you that doesn't know, if you put on £100, you get back. If you put on £1, you get back £100. That's serious odds. And I put all my money on that horse. And they said, and when it was running, and they said Jeffrey's Choice is in the lead, and Jeffrey's Choice has got 1 length clear. Jeffrey's Choice got 2 lengths clear. Jeffrey's Choice is drawing away from the rest of the field. And it just went and won. So you tell me, people, How can that woman know that that was going to happen? How is that? So she told me a lot of things, and the things that she told me, I never forgot. You know, that yeah. So yeah, she told me also, don't do business with women or girls. Don't do business with them. She told me that, you know. So I don't know, man. But that's a little bit about me, and I can tell you other things later on. But for today, I think that's what we're gonna wrap it up there. And I want to say, if it's your first time on the platform, please leave a share, like, and subscribe. And look out for the Jamaican words and phrases. And have yourself a nice weekend. And I'll talk to you in the next one. Stay cool. Peace.